We are joined now by two people who know all about the stage, music, performance and more. Two great actors. Let's welcome Krakowski and Hailee Steinfeld!
Welcome, guys. Now, we're going to be chatting all about your new TV show very soon, but we were just talking there about Max Martin in the film. And Hailee, you've actually worked with him before, haven't you?
So I have, yes, he is just a genius. I could listen to him talk and watch him work for, that sounds very creepy, but just seeing what you played before there is so beyond fascinating to me. He truly is a genius. This was my first single, Love Myself, that was produced by Matt and Robin, who have worked with Max for years. And Max came in towards the end of the process in making that song and kind of was overseeing the whole process, and at one point he was in the studio with us, and it just was the most surreal moment to have had this song that we could present him with and that he sort of perfected it, and it just had that Max Martin touch, and it was just an incredible team all the way around, and then having him come in was amazing.
It's so interesting. Cool. It's so interesting to use the word surreal, because a lot of our audience will know you from True Grit and your stupendous performance in that, for which you were nominated for an Oscar at the age of 14, which is extraordinary. How do you stay grounded? I mean, when you're at the Oscars, you're 14 years old, what do you say to your friends? I mean, it's so surreal. I mean,
yes, it's a very crazy thing. I still cannot, I have a hard time comprehending that entire year of my life. It was such a wonderful experience. I had so many incredible people around me, from my cast and crew of that movie to my family that has stood by me since day one. And I have my mom here with me now, and she's the one. She's what keeps me grounded. Yeah.
Oh, great. Did you say Batman and Robin? Did you?
Batman.
Batman.
Sorry,
Mum, a bit.
It's all right. It's all right. No, close enough. By the way, I thought that for the longest time, and would always say Batman and Robin, but said it fast enough to where I got through with it, and it wasn't right.
The thing is, everyone at home was thinking the same thing.
Now, Jane, you actually started in musical theatre, didn't you? You've had an amazing career as well. We've got a picture of you with Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, my
God. So tell us about this. Where was this from?
This was a show called American Passion in New York, and we are both children. My memory is that I was 14 then, but I said I was 17 just to get in, because you had to be a little bit older to be in the topic of the play. So, and I think he was maybe 15. It was one of our very first shows that we both did growing up in New York. But I also was here in the West End a bunch of years ago, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my whole career. I loved being here, and I love being in London.
And Ali McBeal, if I may say, which we were all besotted with in the late 90s, is something a lot of people would know you by. You're about to work on this, or you have worked, you starred in Dickinson. Does it feel to you guys like we're living through this golden age of TV? I mean, there's this new streaming service from Apple, which you're part of. Disney are going to do the same thing. There is so much drama out there, which must mean a lot of opportunities for people like yourselves.
They are calling it a new golden age of television. It seems like there are so many streaming networks and all of those platforms, and Apple TV Plus is going to be a new one that's coming out. Our show is going to be dropped on November 1st, called Dickinson, and we're very excited about it.
So tell us more about it.
Well, Emily Dickinson is, I like to refer to her as a literary icon. She is an American poet who was completely misunderstood in her time. So our show is sort of that question of, can we understand her better in ours? And it's a wild, fun, rebellious, heartbreaking at times, half-hour show that is just quite a ride. And I'm so excited to introduce her and her work, if not reintroduce her, to the world.
Jane, tell us about your character.
I play Emily Dickinson's great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
wow. You guys kind of believe that for a minute. Which means I have to go get some work done.
I mean, are you sure? That's not what they said.
No, I actually play her mother. Not to be confused with her hotter millennial sister. Yes, no, I play her mother, who's also oddly called Emily Dickinson, because she was Emily Dickinson Sr. and then Emily Dickinson Jr. And we have an amazing relationship in this story, because we have actually a lot of conflict. I sort of represent the old school 1800s of tradition and conservativeness and believing in a patriarchal society, and she wants to sort of break all of those rules.
And talking about conflict, we've actually got a clip of you guys in the middle of a bit of a disagreement. Let's take a look.
Now, you need to go get dressed. We have another gentleman coming to see you.
Oh, a gentleman? Mom, no!
This man could very well be your husband.
So romantic.
Don't pull any of those stunts like you did the last time.
I made an offering.
You dropped a dead mouse in that poor man's lap.
Yes. Like a cat.
You are not a cat, Emily.
No. Tragically, I am a woman.
It is a really interesting drama, this one, because it very much mixes old and new. You've got the modern references, you know, modern music, and then obviously you've got the period costumes there, which look quite uncomfortable. How easy is it to actually act, you know, in that kind of costume and keep yourself composed?
It's sort of a love-hate relationship because it is, you know, at times, I mean, it truly overall is amazing to have that literal physical constraint that just pulls you right into that time.
Yeah.
Of course, I found it very, well, easy but hard to complain because we got to loosen them up at lunch, and the women of that time had no choice. So, yeah, it wasn't incredibly comfortable. I don't think I'd choose to wear them on my off time, but incredible how they helped, I think, shape the character.
It's so completely, the minute you put it on, you've really felt the constrictions and how women were bound at that time to the patriarchal society, because the men didn't have to wear those at all. And the waist training really worked. Like,
it does.
By Friday, if you filmed all week, your waist was about 2 inches thinner. Unfortunately, it went back out by Monday, but...
That's why Friday night plans were, like, you know, very important to me.
And is it true that the director got you to do some actual chores? Is that right?
Yes, well, my character prides herself on her homemaking skills. That's her main thing. And he wanted to be really authentic, so we were actually plucking real chickens. And
oh my God.
Yeah,
Really?
Wow.
You know, we've never done that in our time period. Thank goodness we can go to a store and buy our meat. It was pretty rough, but it looked authentic.
Yeah.
We were taking out innards and all that sort of stuff. But it,
Oh, man, I cannot wait. It looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it
Dickinson
does.
is on the new streaming service, Apple TV+, and it starts on November the 1st.